I really like just finding like junk and making stuff out of it. Maybe it's because, like, you know, when you're a kid, you're building for it. Just go find as much junk that you can use to build the fort. So I guess I'm just continuing on that path into adulthood. Hi, my name is Leah Jeffrey, and I work here in Hogansville, Georgia, and I make sculptures from scrap metal. I started working with scrap metal my second year in welding school. When I was in welding class, I had some extra time, and I had seen some stuff on social media of other people working with scrap metal, and so I started to look into different projects I could do, and I started on my first sculpture making a great horned owl. And once I made that piece, I really enjoyed it, and I was like, this is really fun. So I started making some more pieces, and then I was like, this is really fun. Throughout middle school and high school, I'd done art classes throughout. It was always something that I enjoyed, but never thought that art would be something that I would actually do as a career or anything. But once I started in welding school and started messing around with scrap metal and making pieces, and found that I really enjoyed it, and other people really enjoyed it, I was like, I think I'll do this. The majority of the material that I use is a lot of old bike parts and silverware. That's the bulk of what I use, and then just like tons of random items that I find on the side of the road, or that people give me, or the scrapyard or something like that. But it's basically any piece of metal that's just been tossed. There are definitely pieces that I find work for, that I know I want to use for specific things, especially something like spoons and knives, butter knives make for cool wings, and bike gears make for good like fur, or like make it look furry. And there'll be certain things that will inspire pieces, like I had a bunch of old stained glass that someone gave me, and there was some glass that had blue and green mixtures in it, and I was trying to figure out ways how to use it, and those colors reminded me of a peacock. And so then I was like, I'll just make a peacock and use the stained glass in it. So. Sort of the process of taking all these pieces that have been discarded and considered trash and are broken and messed up and stuff, and putting them together to create a sculpture and almost like give it new life. It's very fun. So I'll start with, whatever I'm making. So like, if I'm making some kind of bird, then I'll look at pictures, sort of study the animal a little bit, and print off some pictures, maybe sketch it out a couple times, draw it out. I'll get the basic outline on the table so that I can make sure I keep the proportions right as I'm building it. And then once I've got that sketch on the table, then I pick a point to start at, usually like the back or the back of the animal, but usually I start with the body. And then I just slowly go from there, piece by piece, until I finish it. For the most part, I make animals. I've made a few other things, but it was mostly just animal sculptures. I really like to make animals, I think, because I really like the challenge of trying to capture the life and the personality of an animal and trying to put that in there and trying to make a piece look alive. I would say I find inspiration from nature and just like animals. I really like to go backpacking and hiking, and so when I can, I really like to go out into the woods and just walk in the woods and just observe the birds and the different animals and bugs and stuff. Once I start to see it as, once it almost kind of comes to life, I definitely have a different perspective. It's more exciting, especially once I get the eye in there, I think is usually when the eyes are in, that's usually when it starts to look like it's looking back at me with some attitude or whatever. Most of the time is spent just making it. I don't spend a whole lot of time thinking beforehand. I mean, a little bit once I get the a project that I want to do, and then I start sort of getting a basic idea of what I want. But the majority of the time is spent just working it out, trying different pieces, seeing what fits. It will usually take me, depending on the piece, between 10 to 40 hours generally to make a sculpture. Except for that first piece. That first piece took me I think 90 hours. Because I was of here and there, and that one took a long time because I would make a certain part of it and I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do next? It was a very big learning curve on that first piece. Because I feel like they're all like my little children that I'm sending off into the world. I don't know, I haven't really made one yet that's been super personal to me, or that's above the rest or whatever. I was in my parents' garage in just like a 6x6 space, and it was getting so cramped because I got so much scrap metal, so much material that I was kind of getting crammed. And so last year I was able to move my shop there, which was really nice. So all I really want to do is just build stuff. I've got bazillions of different projects in my mind that I want to do. Half of them are in metal and half of them are other things. So I want to learn anything I can, basically. And I just really like to learn how to do stuff. You know, how to use the paint gun, I want to learn some electrical stuff, and I don't know. I just want to learn how to do everything. Who knows if I'll end up learning everything, but so in the future I just see myself making more sculptures, getting better. I definitely want to try to improve and try to implement new elements, maybe incorporate different materials into my sculpture. I think engaging with recycled materials and making that more normal is important, because trash is almost like a resource, so we don't really think about that because we throw away our stuff, we don't go get it. I really like just finding junk and making stuff out of it. Maybe it's because when you're a kid, you're building a fort, just go find as much junk that you can use to build the fort. So I guess I'm just continuing on that path into adulthood.